They say, don't mess with Texas. But I must have a damn death wish, because today I'm going to mess with Texas. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do after that? Forget the Alamo. Oh, you heard me. You heard me. And just when you thought I was done, when you thought I was done with all that, I just might mention that some things are smaller in Texas. That's right, folks. We're here today to discuss the great state of Texas. And there's a reason why this is happening, right? The reason is I have a character flaw. Let me tell you about it. When I see that people are really getting overly emotional to a joke that I make on the internet, I go in for the kill, guys. I'm like, okay, that's fine. If that joke got you, well, just wait for this next one. And it started innocent enough. I was making fun of the fact that Texans don't know how to drive, which is true. That's not an inaccurate statement at all. Texans are the worst drivers in the country. Making a little joke in the last video with a Texan, because he's actually got a sense of humor, and he said, oh, that's it. You're talking about us Texans again? I'll see you on Fuel Island. And for anybody that don't know what I'm talking about, that's a threat that truckers make to other truckers, because if they're going to fight, they're going to fight right at the fuel pumps, and it's all a fantasy. It's all made up in everyone's head. It doesn't really exist. But he was just joking with me, and he said, I'll see you on Fuel Island. And I said, probably not. You'll probably crash your truck on the way there, because Texans can't drive to save their fucking lives. Worst, absolute worst in the country. Ask me how I know. I travel the whole country, and Texans suck at driving. So what happened was, I'm like, man, these Texans are getting real upset about me making fun of their driving skills. You know what I'm going to do next? You know what I'm going to do next, guys? I'm going to make fun of their power grid. Yeah, and that's what I did. I started cracking jokes about how they can't keep their power grid running, and I was not surprised by the results when 1,000 Texans showed up angry. They came to defend the honor of their power grid, which is silly, because it turns out that power grids don't have fillings. So when I was making fun of the power grid actually didn't feel bullied at all. As a matter of fact, it had no fucking clue that this was even happening. But God bless you, white knights that showed up to defend the honor of that power grid, because what would it have done without you, right? So what I want to say here to the people that get very emotional over some jokes, right? First of all, I thought Texans were like badasses, right? We're talking about cowboys, not the Dallas Cowboys. They're garbage, right? But like true blue, red-blooded, hard as nails cowboys. But what I'm finding out is that a lot of Texans are soft as baby shit, and I had no idea that making fun of a power grid was such a hot button topic, right? So here's what I want you to do, and I don't mean this sarcastically. This is actually something that I do in my real life, right? Because I'm this guy Trucks. You can only imagine all the things that I have heard said about me, things that legitimately hurt my feelings, because I'm like, why is this happening? Why are so many people attacking poor little old this guy Trucks? And it might be because of videos like this when I start to reflect a little bit. Oh, I went on and I made fun of an entire state. Why are people being so mean to me, though? Geez, I just can't figure it out. It must be them that's the fucking problem, right? But what I'm trying to say is all the things I've seen about me in my life, in my time on the internet, have obviously greatly offended me, right? Have really caused me to have anxiety and even depression at some points by listening to these things. Here's an exercise that I started doing, Texans, and I encourage you to do this too. Whatever it is that's going on the internet, like you're sitting there watching a YouTube video and your face starts to turn red and like your little vein is popping out on your forehead and you're sitting there pouting, right? What you want to do is look to someone close to you, someone in your real life, right? And then say what's happening out loud. And you'll be fucking astonished at how stupid all of it sounds coming out of your mouth. And I've done this thousands of times. You know, people on YouTube got like weird, wacky names, and like then they'd be like talking shit about me, and like then I would reach out to either my wife or my girlfriend or my mistress or my side piece, whichever one was available, to be a shoulder to cry on at the time. Sorry, sometimes I laugh at my own stupidity. Give me a minute, I'll finish giggling here and I'll get back to the fucking point. But you start saying this out loud, right? You're using like all these goofy YouTube people's names and like all the things they said about you, and what you find is, as it's coming out of your mouth, you realize how fucking stupid the entire thing sounds when it's put out into the real world. Because the fact of the matter is, this is just the internet, and it's real, but it's not, right? So you're sitting there, you know, your eyes swelling up, you know, from the tears that are starting to pour down your pretty little cheeks, right? And let's say your wife walks by and she's like, honey, what's wrong? And you go, well, I'm watching this video on YouTube, and there's this trucker, and he's saying that us here in Texas, we have a failing power grid, and the reason we have that failing power grid is because we're stealing electricity from a third world country, Mexico, and we're moving that electricity over the border. And that's the reason that we're always yelling at Mexicans to say south of the border, is because we need them to keep generating the electricity. And as you're crying this to your spouse, she's gonna like pat you on the shoulder and she's gonna say, okay, honey, is any of this real? And you're gonna be like, no, it's not. He just said a bunch of shit and it really made me emotional. And she's gonna say, that's okay. It's okay to be emotional about things that you hear. But what you have to do is you have to start to understand, is what's being said actually real? And what is the effect that it has on you? And then she's going to grab a little tissue and she's going to dry your eyes and she's going to tell you that she loves you very much. Because wives have a tendency to be the more rational side of us, right? And when you tell them, that's all I'm trying to say, is when you say the stupid thing out loud in the real world, you just come to this realization. It's like fucking Zen, right? You're like, oh my God, this isn't actually real, and I'm getting upset about it. And then your life starts to change, and for the better, right? And then you're not like on Facebook pissed off because you read a fake headline and you're up in arms about it, because that's a little information for you guys. If you're reading a headline on Facebook, it's false. It's completely made up and you're falling for it, dummy. and that's your own fucking fault. So the point is, with all that, is obviously I saw that people were getting aggravated. So I'm like, well, maybe I got a few more jokes in me, right? But that's all it is it's just like fucking goofing around for the most part. So I'm out of breath after all that. Jesus Christ, I gave you guys quite the pep talk, didn't I? I hope everyone feels better. Don't worry, the video's not over, but I like have to come to my senses after all that, right? But to me, it's just really, really fucking silly to get upset about these things. I mean, I had people like fact checking me on the last video, you know, like, Josh, you sound like you're very ignorant about what's going on at the border. You're goddamn right I am. I am completely ignorant, and ignorance is fucking bliss. I am living my best life out here, guys. I don't give a fuck about any of this nonsense. You know, everybody's arguing about politics. What happened to you guys? We're all yelling at each other about fucking politics. That is the goofiest shit that I can think of. You should be informed. Absolutely. You should understand what you're voting for. Absolutely. But people have a tendency to listen to the news for information. That's where you're fucking up, right? We got to be honest with ourselves. The fucking news lies, right? The news is very partisan. So you've got your Fox News for, I think, the Republicans, but like Fox News is like, it's a whole fucking thing. They're fighting with Donald Trump sometimes, and then they're defying him in other times, and it's like this whole fucking thing. But over on the left, you've got like CNN, I think, and MSNBC, not ESPN, that'd be weird, MSNBC, and the fact of the matter is, they're telling you what they want you to fucking hear, right? So anybody that comes to me and tells me, dude, I am informed about what is going on in the world, I just listened to Sean Hannity talk shit. Sean Hannity makes up shit just to get you worked the fuck up so that you can be mad all day. Why do you want to be mad all day? Hannity ain't mad. Hannity's sitting back watching that money roll into his bank account and laughing at your gullible ass that believes his fucking stories, right? And that applies to just about every mainstream media personality, and that's what they are, personalities. They're journalism's dead. Guys, journalism died a long fucking time ago, all right? It's all about lying your ass off to influence your mind and make you vote for a bunch of rich old people that their sole purpose, their entire goal is to stay in power until the fucking day they die, so they never have to deal with, like, the real world. The shit that they create for us that we have to live in, they don't ever have to fucking deal with that. So me, yes, I am blissfully uninformed about what is going on. Here's how I handle politics. I think I already mentioned this. I'm not sure. I just vote. I'm never ever going to try to change your mind, and nothing ever has happened in a political debate. Two people didn't argue on Facebook and then at the end they saw eye to eye. As a matter of fact, they probably never spoke to each other again, and here we are ripping apart our own fucking families for fucking politics. And to me, that sounds pretty fucking insane. Vote in your interest if that's what you want to do. Vote for what you think is the right thing to vote for. Debate's over. That's settled. Now we can all go on about our lives, right? Holy shit, right? But it was crazy the amount of people that were like then trying to fact check me on my statements about the Texas power grid. And Josh, did you even research this topic before you discussed it? Nope. Sure didn't. You know why? Because it was just a joke. It was all bullshit. The entire thing was completely bullshit. Think of me as like a court jester, right? Do you think in medieval times they were fact-checking the court jester? I doubt it. I seriously fucking doubt they were. They were actually taking it to the people that matters, right? Like, you didn't fact-check a king because off with your fucking head at that point, right? Maybe medieval times isn't the best fucking example. Maybe I'm fucking up here, you know? Maybe that's not the best example. Let's bring it up to modern times, right? I'm a bullshitter on the internet. That's what I am. It does absolutely no good to fact check me, right? And people were telling me, like, this is very dangerous of you, Josh. This is very fucking reckless of you to go on the internet and make these claims. Whatever happened to personal responsibility? What the fuck is going on here? You watch a This Guy Trucks video, and if you don't know me, let's say this is your first video, what you're going to find out is I'm full of shit. Right? That doesn't mean I'm lying to you. That's a whole thing here on YouTube. This guy trucks lies. No, but I am full of shit. It's a joke. Calm the fuck down, right? But I just can't imagine. You're fact-checking the wrong person. I'm not involved in the government. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm not a member of the media. None of this fucking matters, right? Think of me as a clown. That's pretty fucking modern, right? Could you imagine hiring a clown for your kid's birthday and he's up in front of everyone telling a joke about some shenanigans that him and his other clown buddy got into, and you're sitting there all pissed off going, I think this clown might be fucking lying to us. I don't know if he's presenting all the facts to us, but I still don't know if that works either, because I don't know if anybody's hiring clowns for their kids' birthdays. John Wayne Gacy kind of fucked that up for everyone, didn't he? He absolutely did. He absolutely did. So, I guess the best strategy for you guys is to realize I'm just full of shit. How about that? That might be the best for you. But it's like, all of Texas is pissed off at me, right? Okay, that's fine. I'm in Texas right now. Kill me if you must. I'm literally standing in Texas right now. I told you I got a fucking death wish, don't I? Speaking of, you remember that thing I said earlier about the Alamo? Me neither. Fucking forgot all about it. Don't even remember what we were talking about with that. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is it reminds me, I was making a joke about what's that other bullshit state? Arkansas. Right? I was making fun of Arkansas for some reason or another, and somebody really got mad in the comments. He goes, "Oh, you realize by saying that you have just pissed off the entire state of Arkansas." Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Why would I give a shit if I offended the entire state of Arkansas? I'm not blood related. They weren't going to fuck me anyway, so it doesn't matter if Arkansas is pissed off at me. That was a good joke, okay? That was a good one. Rewind, listen to that one again. That was a good one. But yeah, I don't care if Arkansas's pissed off at me. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter to me if a bunch of Texans are mad at me, right? I don't know what you guys think happens because people didn't like a joke. Nothing. Literally nothing happens, right? But it's just such a crazy thing. It's crazy. Always. Here's the thing I've learned on my time on YouTube, right? This is very important. This is a thing I've learned. What I have learned is that this guy Trucks is kind of just a character, right? Yes, this is me. This is how I talk for the most part. This is the kind of conversation I would have in my own home, just bullshitting around. Normally I would do it with about 6 more beers in me, which makes it even funnier to me, but less funny to everyone around me. But I'm there to entertain me, right? I think that's how the fuck it works. But I'm a character, guys. Like, none of this is to be taken fucking seriously at all. And what I mean to say is what I've learned by that is there used to be a time here on YouTube where people would challenge the things I said in a video in the comment section. They'll be like, Josh, did you know? And they're acting like basement dwelling neckbeard, saying all this, spitting facts at me that I don't give a fuck about. And there used to be a time where I felt the need to defend what I said, right? Turns out I don't actually have to defend what I say. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. So, you know, we're all over here pissed off about me making fun of the Texas power grid, right? Well, fix it. Like, don't have the state that claims they can go off and be their own fucking state. Don't have your power grid crashing because it got a little bit chilly out there, because that doesn't prove anything to the fucking rest of us. That doesn't prove that you could be your own fucking country. Fix your shit. What the fuck you want me to do about it? I don't control the Texas power grid, right? And like, it's a damn shame that we gotta worry about fucking elderly people turning into fucking popsicles every time it gets a little bit chilly outside, and because you want to keep them fresh. They lose flavor after they've been frozen. So yes, we have just hit a new low here on this guy Trucks. We just keep setting the bar lower and lower. That was a cannibalism joke, my friends. That's what the fuck just happened right there. Cannibalism. Yes, I just talked about eating old people. Well, what else are they good for? I mean, they're old, they're retired. They're not really pulling their fucking weight around here anymore. And the rest of us are fucking hungry and groceries are expensive. Why the fuck are we... What's the debate? Eat the motherfuckers. I mean, what... Do you have an actual realistic argument? For real? I doubt you do. I mean, what I said just makes perfect fucking sense. But... I'm out of breath, man. I am on a roll right now. Holy shit. I don't know if it's good, but I'm having fun. Fuck it, good enough for me. That's a good ass video. But I guess I just don't understand how so many people are getting so upset about the chunk of land that they happen to live on, surrounded by the borders that we just made up one day or made up over time, and then they have so much pride in the piece of dirt that they're standing on. It's a piece of dirt. Who gives a fuck? And I always try to like equate that to what's going on like with me, right? There was a time once where a guy used to make fun of Colorado. I'm from Colorado. All right. I'll give you my address and social security number at the end of the video. But I'm from Colorado. And there used to be a guy that would come into my live streams and he would make fun of Colorado. And it used to really offend me. I'm like, this motherfucker. What the fuck's wrong with Colorado? Then I realized my identity is not the state that I happen to be fucking born in. And when I really think about it, when you talk about Colorado, there's a lot to be fucking made fun of. A lot. Absolutely a lot. Look at who we got in fucking Congress. That fucking airhead Lauren Boebert. I mean, holy shit, what a dipshit she is. And she's part of the representation of the state of Colorado, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, I kind of like her, not in the sense that she should be in politics, like, not at all. She's dumb as hell, but I would absolutely go on a date with her. I would, because I know that if I go on a date with Lauren Boebert, she's going to play with my pee-pee in public and vape with me. And I mean, as dumb as she is, she's kind of speaking my fucking love language at that point. I mean, yeah, she might be kind of a fun girlfriend, but like, as a politician, as a congresswoman, that's a real fuck up. Now, isn't it? Yes. The answer to that is yes. And if there's any doubt in your mind and you're like, oh no, Josh, I think she's really good, I challenge you to just go watch some of her debates. And oh my God, this woman's a moron. She has no fucking business in Congress whatsoever. And the point I'm trying to make, my friends, the point I'm trying to make is maybe this shit doesn't really matter that much, right? It doesn't fucking matter. You know, Texas, look, there's one thing you've done right. You got 1 star on your flag. I think that, right? In the Texas flag, just 1 star. And you've got that 1 star for the one goddamn thing you did right. The one thing you did right. And that was brought George Strait to the rest of us, right? God bless that man. The fucking king of country, right? Absolutely. You did that right. Now, don't get me wrong. You probably brought us a million shitty mumble rappers also. And no, I didn't fact check that. I just made it up. I don't know for sure that that's true. But hey, you brought us George Strait. That's a huge, huge fucking thing. And you can just admit that since then, kind of nothing's happened. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, that's not a big deal. It's just a state. That's all it is. It's just a state. And your politics are just as wacky as every other state's politics, and it's all like made up by us, not by us. It's all made up by our supreme overlords. You know, the rich old people. I was gonna say white people, but then somebody would go racist. The rich old people that are in charge of us, they all do this on purpose to keep us fighting with each other, right? So I mean, you guys did good with George Strait, and you kind of fucked up everything else, and I guess that's okay. Like, look, that was a hit. That was a big fucking hit. I mean, you got 2 shitty football teams. I mean, my God, what the fuck is going on? You would think that with so many Texans playing football, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe they're not the biggest guys on the field. You would think that Texas could field at least 1 good football team, having 2, but no, you got 2 shit football teams. I don't even know what you got going on for other sports. San Antonio Spurs, does Dallas Mavericks? I mean, who cares, right? Not much going on there. And you fucking suck at driving. That's what I'm so mad about. You suck at driving. And I don't fucking understand why. They let any fucking goofball get a goddamn driver's license out here. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. I was rolling across Louisiana today, and I started noticing people doing very erratic things on the road. Changing speeds. I'm talking about cars, right? Just rapidly changing speeds, changing lanes, just doing goofy things. Oh, randomly stopping on the interstate. And as I was getting closer to the people doing all these dumb things, I said, I bet these motherfuckers have Texas license plates, even though I'm still in Louisiana. And they did. I'm always right about that. I am 100% accurate. No matter where I'm at in this country, I can see a fucking knucklehead in a car doing absolutely absurd fucking things, and I will go, I bet they got Texas plates on that car, and I am 100% accurate. Never, ever in my life have I been wrong about that. Y'all are fucking terrible. And then you do this stupid shit where you blame California. You guys want to be California so bad, but all you do is blame them. You know, oh, fucking, if it wasn't for all the goddamn Californians moving in, then we wouldn't have this problem. They come over here and they don't know how to drive. You're wrong. You're wrong. I've drove all over this country, and people from California, the LA area, are the most skilled drivers I have seen in this country. Laugh all you want, but I know it to be true. It is like watching, sometimes their interstates do get backed up, but that's just the nature of the beast, right? Interstates do get fucked up. But when you're rolling through LA and traffic's just moving, it's rush hour and everybody's just going down the road, it's like watching a fucking ballet. It is absolutely beautiful. The quick reflexes of these California drivers to weave in and out of traffic, and they're all doing it together, and it is gorgeous. One of the absolutely most beautiful things you will ever see. So if it were true that Californians were coming into Texas and they were driving the cars poorly, Well, that's not what I meant to say. They wouldn't be driving the cars poorly. If it was all the people from California coming into Texas and then they were all over the interstate, then y'all would keep driving, right? Here's a really lame joke. This one's really bad, but I'm going to say it anyways, because out on 287, headed north, there is a Dairy Queen sign, right? And I believe Dairy Queen is a Texas franchise. I believe it started here, because I'm still here right now and I'm not dead. Believe it or not. But it's got the Dairy Queen symbol, and right next to it, it says Texas stop sign, right? And I guess the sort of marketing campaign is supposed to be whenever a Texan sees a Dairy Queen, they're going to pull right in there and they're going to have them some fucking ice cream, right? Us here in Texas, we recognize that Dairy Queen sign and we know it's time to stop. But the stupid thing about it is that every sign in Texas is a Texas stop sign. Y'all stop for every sign on the interstate. Can you believe it? That's crazy. A speed limit sign. Speed limit 75. Slow down, honey. What's that say? Oh, we better stop and back up. Oh, speed limit 75. All right. Well, we better go 105 then. And then they come up 105. And then there's a sign that says mile marker 38. Stop the car. What's that one say? Okay, let's go. Right? Every sign is a Texas stop sign, not just Dairy Queen. Y'all are goofy. You don't know how to fucking drive. And, God, I'm so out of breath on this one, guys. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with it. I just can't figure out why I have so many goddamn breathing problems. I just don't know what my problem is. It's a fucking mystery. It's a mystery. But, you know, we're on and on about build the wall, seal off the borders, and all that stuff. And, hey, you know what? I don't live in a border state. I don't know necessarily. Here's another thing I'm ignorant on. I don't know necessarily the impact of immigration on the border states. I think I understand on a broader scale, but it doesn't really matter too much. I don't necessarily know. Right? Give me a second. I had a thought and it kind of went out of my fucking head. Give me a second to think about that. But yeah, I don't really understand what the impact of immigration necessarily is. Here's the thought that I had though. You know how earlier I was saying that the media lies to you? It's true. That's one thing in our lives that is absolute. Because here not too long ago, they were talking about 700,000 truckers are headed to the border to protest the invasion. Well, for one, I don't think there were any truckers. There might have been a few, right? Because I got to be honest with you, real truckers got shit to do. We don't have time to be involved in politics. We vote. Hopefully we vote, right? But like this idea that we're gonna show up in trucking convoys and protest everything, I for one am sick to fucking death of the media trying to use us as a weapon, trying to wield truckers as a weapon, because they make us look fucking ignorant, in my opinion. You know, oh, the truckers are showing up to protest this and that, the mask mandate, the vaccine, and now we're headed down to the border. No, I'm not doing any of that. I have shit to do, right? And I don't give a fuck about any of those things, if I'm being quite honest with you. But they're telling them there's 700,000 truckers. And the fucking media is doing that on purpose, right? Because when people think about truckers, they think about like, and maybe they're not wrong, but they're thinking about like just red-blooded fucking love my country Americans. So if the truckers are doing it, then there must be something to that, right? But the fact of the matter is we never show up because we never even talked about it, right? Maybe some goofy-ass truckers did, right? But then like 3 shitheads from like Arkansas showed up on the border, like, oh, we're going to join that protest down there, right? And they get down there and they're like, there's nothing here. What's happening? And then like the media's interviewing them, right? And they're like, well, I came down to join this protest against the convoy, or not against the convoy, against the invasion of the Mexicans, the caravan, right? And I get down here and I see that absolutely nothing is going on, and I just don't get it. And they're so close to getting it. Here's what you need to get. They lied to you. That's the part you need to get. What do you mean? I just don't get it. You were tricked, stupid. This is all made up to get a reaction. Right? Now, yes, I'm not saying that people don't cross the border. I'm saying I don't know how much I give a fuck, if I'm being honest with you. I don't fucking care. That's for people above my pay grade to figure the fuck out. The people we elect to do the fucking job. I'm already driving the truck. You want me to solve the border issue too? Motherfucker! Jesus fucking Christ, what else can I do for you? God damn, we've elected people that are supposed to be figuring this fucking shit out. It's not up to me to park my truck at the goddamn border and figure it the fuck out. It's fucking goofy. It's goofy. And the people that keep falling for this shit over and over, I'm not sorry when I laugh at you. There's no invasion coming across the border. I am conceding that, yes, people cross the border, but how many of these goddamn caravans do we got to get all worked up about? And then it's like 10 fucking malnourished little brown people crossing the border. It's like, well, let's get them some medical attention, please, because we're the richest country in the world, right? Let's feed them, and then, like, I don't care. I care to a point what you do after that. I mean, let's not, like, torture them or anything crazy like that. But if you want to just kick them in the ass and send them back across the border, that's your prerogative. I don't really fucking care. I don't give a shit. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't give a fuck. I'm half dead. What's the worst that can happen? And I'm even closer to death now because I just made fun of Texans again. We just keep getting closer. But I guess to end it on, like, the worst possible thing I could say in this video is, yeah, I'm all for building a wall around the border. Let's just build it around Texas, and eventually all you Texans that can't fucking drive will take care of the problem all on your own. Just kidding. I'm not wishing death on Texans. I'm not wishing that you would be involved in car accidents. I'm just kind of an asshole. Bye now.